Hi guys, welcome back. So I made this lovely crochet rug a while ago and I didn't use any pattern, I just sort of winged it and a lot of people loved it. So today I've written a pattern just for you and we're going to make this lovely mandala crochet rug using t-shirt yarn. So let's get started. So for this project I'm going to be using this beautiful t-shirt yarn by Maccaroni. So I'll just show you the details. Here it is, and if you see, the recommended crochet hook size is 8 to 12 millimeters. I'm going to be using an 8 mm or an L crochet hook. I also have a large eyed yarn needle and a pair of scissors. So I'm going to be alternating between these two colors because I want my rug to be pretty dark. You can use any colors you want. So now in order to get started, we're going to be making a magic ring. So make an X across your fingers, insert your hook into the bottom, pick up the top and twist. Now just pull up a loop. Your magic ring is ready. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and into this magic ring we're going to be placing 11 double crochets. So yarn over, insert your hook into the ring, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook, pull through 2 and pull through 2. That's 1. Again yarn over, insert, pull up a loop. You have 3 on the hook, pull through 2, pull through 2. Now while working with t-shirt yarn, I suggest you keep your gauge pretty loose, especially if you're using a smaller crochet hook like me, because otherwise getting into the stitches in the rows later will get very difficult. So again yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. So if you see, now I've made 1, 2 and 3. Now you're going to go ahead and make this 11 times. Once you finish your 11 double crochets, meet me back here again. So now once you're done with your 11 double crochets, this is what it should look like. So here's your first chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Into that third chain, we're just going to insert our hook right there and place a slip stitch to close row 1. Now to start row 2, chain 3 again, and into that very same stitch we're going to place 1 more double crochet. So for this row we're going to be placing an increase on each of the stitches or 2 double crochets in each of the previous row's double crochets. So that's 1, 2. Into the next one, again we're going to place 1 and 2. Into the next one, again we have 1 and 2, and you're going to continue this all the way around. So including the first chain 3 and first double crochet, you'll have 24 double crochets all the way around at the end of this row. So now at the end of row 2, once you're done with your 24 double crochets, that's including the first chain 3, this is what it should look like. Again, your first chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Into that third chain right on top, you're going to insert your hook and place a slip stitch to complete this row. Now for row 3, you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. This counts as your first double crochet. Into the stitch right after that, you're going to place 2 double crochets. That's 1 and 2. Into the next stitch, you're going to place 1 double crochet. Into the next one, 1 and 2. So this is the pattern we'll follow all the way around. 1 double crochet, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1 1 2 all the way around until we have 36 double crochets including this first chain 3. So now at the end of the row, this is how it should look. And once again we're going to slip stitch onto the third chain of the first chain 3. Now for row number 4, we're going to chain 3, 1 2 3. This counts as our first double crochet. Then we're going to add a chain 2. So this is one double crochet followed by a chain 2. Now you're going to skip the next stitch into the one after that, place a double crochet, chain 2, skip the next stitch into the one after that, place a double crochet, chain 2, and this is the pattern we're going to continue all the way around. So this is how it will look. So now you'll skip this into this one, double crochet, chain 2, skip this, and do that all the way around. So now at the end of this row, we're going to chain 2 and then slip stitch onto the third stitch of the first chain 5. So if you remember, we did a chain 3 plus 2. So count 1 2 3 and into that third chain just place a slip stitch. And that completes this row. Now for row number 5, we're again going to start with chain 3, 1 2 3, and into this chain space right here, so we have this chain 2 space over here, you're going to place 2 double crochets. So that's 1 and 2. And into this double crochet from the previous row, on the top of that you're going to place 1 double crochet, 1. Now again we've reached a chain space. Into that chain 2 space you're going to place 1 and 2, and on top of this double crochet just 1. And this is the pattern you'll be following. In the chain space, 2 double crochets, on top of the double crochet from the previous row, 1 double crochet. Continue this all the way around and I'll show you how to end this row. Now once you're done, go back to your chain 3 and slip stitch to the topmost stitch of your chain 3 to complete this row. So now at this point I want to change colors, so I'm just going to snip my yarn off and I'm going to pull it through. So I'm going to finish this row. We can tuck in the ends later, and I'm going to take my new yarn, which is the grey, and attach it to the same space. Now to start this row, we're going to start with a chain of 4. 1 2 3 and 4. So now that we've done our chain 4, which is a double crochet plus a chain 1, we're going to skip the next stitch, and into the one after that we're going to place a double crochet. Now you're going to chain 6, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, and then double crochet back into this space again. Now I'm going to show you the repeat. So chain 1, skip 1 stitch, place a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, place another double crochet. Now chain 6, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, and double crochet back into this same space again. So we'll do this together one more time. Chain 1, skip a stitch, place a double crochet, Again chain 1, skip a stitch, place a double crochet. Now chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and into that same space again place a double crochet. So this is the pattern you're going to be repeating all the way around. So now you'll chain 1, skip a stitch, place a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, place a double crochet, chain 6, place a double crochet back in the same space again. Continue this pattern all the way around and meet me at the end of this row. So now at the end of the row, this is what it should look like. Don't worry if your petals are foldy, it's going to get fixed in the next row. Now to end this row, we're going to just chain 1 and slip stitch onto the third stitch of the original chain 3. So now to begin round 7, you're going to chain 1 and into that very same stitch, we're going to place a single crochet. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both. There you go. Now we've reached our little chain 6 over here, and into this chain 6 we're going to place 6 double crochets. You've come to this space right here. On top of the middlemost double crochet, we're going to place 1 single crochet. Now again, we've reached the chain 6. Into that, you're going to place 6 double crochets. And once you're done with that, you're back to this space right here. On the top of the middlemost double crochet, you're going to place 1 single crochet. And this is the pattern you're going to follow. You can just rearrange your stitches slightly so it doesn't warp. So now we've reached a chain 6 again. Into this space, you're going to place 6 double crochets. Then once you reach the space in between, in the middlemost stitch on top of it, you're going to place 1 single crochet. 6 double crochets, 1 single crochet all the way around until you finish this row. So come to the end and I'll show you how to complete. So now at the end of the row, this is how your work should look. So you should have a pretty flower pattern getting formed. And to finish this row, we're just going to slip stitch onto the first single crochet that we made. So that's right here. And I'm going to place a slip stitch to complete the row. So now for round 8, we're going to start working on these petals that we formed. So what we're going to do is, if you remember, we made a petal with 6 double crochets. So we're going to be working into the 4th double crochet. So to do that in the beginning, let's just start slip stitching until we reach that stitch. So I'm slip stitching onto the first one. So now I've reached that 4th stitch, and into this 4th stitch I'm going to be placing a single crochet. Now I'm going to chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, go on to the next petal and place a single crochet on the 4th stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you look, this is how your pattern is going to look. You're going to chain 7, go on to the 4th stitch of your 6 double crochets, place a single crochet. Again chain 7 onto the 4th stitch, place a single crochet and do this all the way around. So now to end this row, you're just going to chain 7 and then slip stitch onto that very first chain. And now working with t-shirt yarn can be pretty hard, so make sure that you give your hands enough rest. And let's start with the next row. So now we can start with the next row. We're going to start trying to repeat these rows again on top now. So to do that, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this counts as a double crochet and chain 1. Now you're going to skip a stitch, place a double crochet onto the next stitch, chain 1, skip a stitch, place a double crochet onto the next one, chain 1, skip a stitch, place a double crochet onto the next one, and you're going to continue this all the way around. Now at the end of this row, you're just going to slip stitch onto the top of the chain 3. So now at this point I want to change colors back to the maroon. Now for the next row, we're going to start with a chain of 3. That's 1, 2 and 3. And now we're going to go into this chain space and place 1 double crochet, back on top of the next double crochet we're going to place 1 double crochet, into this space 1 double crochet, and that's the pattern you're going to follow all the way around. So on top of the double crochet 1 double crochet, in this space in between 1 double crochet. So complete this row and I'll show you how to end. Now at the end of this row, we're just going to slip stitch onto the 3rd chain of the initial chain 3, and that completes it. Now to start the next row, you're going to chain 3 again, and now into every single double crochet from the previous row, you're going to place 1 double crochet. So you're going to be just doing 1 double crochet all the way around for this row. So now at the end of the row, you're just going to slip stitch onto the 3rd chain of the first chain 3, and that completes this row. Now for the next row, we're going to start with a chain of 3 that counts as our first double crochet. Now you're going to chain 2 more, then skip the next stitch, place a double crochet on the following stitch, chain 2, skip the next stitch, place a double crochet on the following stitch, and we're going to follow this pattern all the way around. Chain 2, skip 1, double crochet into the next one. Now in order to complete this row, you're just going to slip stitch to the 3rd stitch of the first chain 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, and we're going to slip stitch right here. Now to start the next row, chain 3 and into the next space place 1 double crochet. On top of the next double crochet, you're going to place 1 double crochet and then 1 into the space, and continue this all the way around. Now at the end of this row, you're just going to slip stitch onto the top of the 3rd chain of the first chain 3 to complete the row. Now for the next row, we're going to chain 3 and then place 1 double crochet on each of the stitches all the way around. So we're almost approaching the end and we just have 2 more rows to go. Now to finish this row, we're just going to slip stitch onto the 3rd chain of the initial chain 3, and that completes this row. And now I'm going to change colors to the grey. So to start this row, you're going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. Now to this you're going to add 2 more chains, so that's 1 double crochet plus chain 2. You're going to skip the next stitch, place a double crochet into the one after that, then again you're going to chain 2, skip the next stitch, place a double crochet into the one after that, and you're going to do this all around. So chain 2, skip a stitch, double crochet, chain 2, skip a stitch, double crochet. So now in order to end this row, we're going to slip stitch onto the third chain of the initial chain 5. Now to start the new row, we're going to place a single crochet into the same stitch. Into the first space right here, we're going to go ahead and place 5 double crochets. Now into the next space, we're going to place a single crochet. Into the space after that, 5 double crochets. And this is the pattern we're going to follow all the way around. So in the next space, we're going to place a single crochet. In the space after that, 5 double crochets. Then in the next space, a single crochet and then 5 double crochets until you finish this all the way around. So now at the end, you're just going to slip stitch onto the first single crochet that you made, and that completes your rug. So now leave a long tail, snip your yarn off and pull it through. So now all you need to do is tuck in your ends, and the easiest way to do that in case you don't have a big yarn needle is you can just take your crochet hook and just pull the yarn through a couple of times like so, and then once you've tucked in the ends, make sure everything is facing on the wrong side. And with this, your round rug is ready. Now go give your hands a good rest. If you like the video, please share it with all your friends and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, bye bye.